Forecast for Marion County, South Carolina. Sunshine on Saturday, the high 90s. A chance of thunderstorms Sunday, the high in the low 90s. Sunshine on Monday and a cooler temperature, the high Monday in the upper 80s. Remember, WJAY has an app in the marketplace that you can download to your mobile device, Bluetooth the audio, and listen on the go. And get WJAY on all your computer devices too at WJAYradio.com. Don't get it confused or twisted. You are listening to 98.3 FM, also heard at 1280 AM, WJAY.
Flavor.
Joe Vereen, I haven't seen you in ages, man. How you doing, my brother? Miss Platt, how are you? Dexter Reeves, my man. Hey, Leo, I missed your call last night. I was beat when I got back from that trip. You need a Samsung phone, Miss Howard. Good morning. Samsung.
.3 FM and
1280 AM WJAY.
County of Marion's local gospel radio station.
WJAY. Now
It's time for Dee Sportswrap, covering high school sports in Marion County, South Carolina. Here's the host of Dee Sportswrap, Michael Jenkins.
Well, a wonderful good morning to everyone out there. This is Michael Jenkins. Welcome to the program. Lost me again? Wow. Goodness. Anyway, what's up, Terrell Pinckney? How you doing? I'm saying hello, folks, to some people out there in Facebook land. I want to talk about a few things this morning. I want to recap the baseball and softball, talk a little bit about the football dates coming up, about the basketball situation, because it's open season now. And in fact, Marion's basketball team is in the gym right now this morning as they start their summer workouts. Also want to shout out to Miss Roberta. I asked my wife about her the other day. She hadn't heard from her in a while. I haven't heard from her in a while. And I know she's one of my most loyal listeners. I think she's down there in St. James. And I want to say good morning to her. And I also want to send congrats out to Cameron Weeks, who signed this week with Newberry College to play football. And, and while I was thinking about Cameron, for every Cameron Weeks, there is two other kids who are not going anywhere. Okay. You got a lot of kids out here who are working hard. I look at the Mullins situation, all the kids that have signed this year to go to college. And the flip side is I can just think of 3 or 4 off the top of my head right now who are not doing anything toward that end. I was thinking particularly about 2 kids in Marion. I won't call their names. I don't want to call them out. But 2 extremely talented football, basketball guys, great athletes, got all the tools, but they're not going anywhere. they have almost consciously decided that they're not going anywhere. They have opportunities galore and the talent to match, but none of the coaches can convince them to come on in from the cold. I don't know if they know what's coming for them if they don't change the direction that they're going in right now. And I use a guy, many of you have heard of the great Ricky Duncan, who is a phenomenal baseball player. I can't believe I used the word phenomenal. That's Donald Trump's word, and I shouldn't be using that word. But anyway, a great baseball, basketball, track, everything. I was told that this guy was already good to go, signed to play Major League Baseball, went away to play Major League Baseball with a Major League club, and came back home. And now he's walking around here doing his sidewalk act. A great guy. I mean, I love him to death. Love talking with him. He's a great sports fan. And every time we cross paths, we talk about sports. But he has his regrets. And I wanted to get Ricky to come on here to talk about this, but so far he's not quite ready yet. But because he has a story to tell. And I really would like him to tell this story to these youngsters today who don't get it. Don't get me wrong, I understand. I understand that kids don't get it. Basically, I didn't get it when I was a kid. And I needed someone to steer me in the right direction. But when I think about even my son, that same cat that comes on here with me sometimes, he was a struggle. We had to do battle. Because when he got big enough to look me in the face, then he thought he had reached a point where I couldn't tell him what to do anymore. He was wrong. Tell you this little quick story. Confrontation. Driving him to school one morning at Marion High School, and I was telling him something, and I wasn't crazy about the tone of the response that I got from him. So I kind of instinctively, my hands just flew up. He and I talk about this all the time. Slapped him upside his head. He was mad. He didn't talk to me for about a month. Went back home to his mom. But the payoff is now, when I look at how well he's doing, when I look at how he straightened himself out, got his education, and now is a grown man taking care of himself, doing his thing. That was the payoff. These kids that I'm talking about probably don't have this. They probably don't have this thing to fall back on. And that's the sad part. Because I think that almost any kid could be turned around and can be helped at least see what the possibilities for their futures are and could be. But back to Cameron Weeks, he's a guy that gets it. A lot of these young people today at Marion High School, Mullins High School, Creek Ridge High School, they all get it. So I'm encouraged to that end because some people are getting through to some of these kids. And they're going on to do great things. This is just the beginning for them. College is really just the beginning. The beginning to making their lives richer and fuller and more whole. So that's my rant for today. But Cameron, as I said, is going to Newberry College to play football. I want to take a quick look at the dates, the important dates for football, starting with, the first practice. Oh, this is not right. This is basketball. My bad. Football. Here we go. The first practice held. Well, first of all, they just got finished with their spring practice, And looking right here, open season, closed season, competitive football attended. From May 1st to May 31, they had 10 days of practice, according to this. And as far as the first practice go, that's on August 2nd. That's going to be here before you know it. And that is going to be helmets only for the first 2 days. On August 5th, practice helmets, shoulder pads. That's when you know things are starting to get real. Away from hearing some snap, crackle, and pop. August 7th, full gear. August 8th, first scrimmage. It says here 7 days prior to first game, the eligibility is due. On August 23rd is week 0. Boy, here we go with that week 0 thing again. But anyway, whatever. Week 0, varsity only. August 30th, week 1. And it says something here about November 2nd, report region qualifiers and so on. Playoffs began on November 8th. State finals, press conference at the league office, December 2nd. But of course, this is weather pending, right? Because we know how weather can wreak havoc on the football season. It really has done that a lot lately over at least the last 2 years. So that's a tentative date, obviously. See, it's not like basketball. If the weather is terrible outside, we can go inside. That's the great thing about hoops. Unless there's a problem getting in. And I can see a scenario where in the winter or in February, late February, early March, we could have a snowstorm that could mess up everything. But so far, we've been good. On December 6th, finals for the Class A and Class Single A and Class 2A. The next day, finals for the other classes, which is Class 5A, Class 4A, and Class 3A. So football is really upon us. Before you know it, you'll be hearing those guys on TV talking about the end zone and all that craziness. Looking at the basketball situation here. And open season begins today and goes all the way through the 21st of July. Week of July 1 through 7 is what they call a dead week where you can't do anything. I'm thinking that's what that means. But June 1st, July 21st, teams can practice, play against other schools, and basically do everything that they need to do during this time of year to get ready for the basketball season. Now, so after that, on the 21st, season closes after that, and September 10th through October 24th, it's open season again, and they can have 20 days of practice. October 25th through October 28th is closed again, and of course the season opens in earnest. Looks like on the 29th. Yeah, in season. So that's what's happening with that. Basketball. This little thing with basketball in the summer it's kind of unique because it hasn't always been this way. There was a time when football basically controlled everything. Hey, Irvin Kenny, I just wanted to give you a shout out because your little son has a future. Junior has a future. Coach was telling me about him we didn't know him. I've seen him out on the floor, but Coach is telling me he's got a future. So I know the Kennys have a great history of athletics around here and singing too. I don't know if the boy could sing. Can he sing, Irvin? I mean, y'all got that gift. So, but there was a time when football controlled everything and the basketball coaches didn't have any power, and there wasn't much of this open season stuff that's going on now. Just wasn't happening. But now the basketball coaches have gotten a little power. They're flexing a little bit now, and they should. Now they have an opportunity to build their programs the way they want to, because don't look now, basketball has gotten pretty popular all over the place. You know, it's especially the state finals in basketball is probably the most popular of all the sports in the state. So I'm going to be checking out some of that Swamp Fox practice this morning on my way back to the house. And today I want to give a shout out to my little 5-year-old grandson whose birthday is today. He's 5 today, Malik Hemingway. And we're going over there today to have a little help him celebrate his birthday. But Swamp Foxes have some things going on in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to read those things to you right now real quick. This is the schedule. Well, he told me, first of all, Coach Weathers, I contacted him this morning, and he was telling me that we have practice today from 8 to 11, and next week will be 6 to 8 p.m. at the rec. So 6 to 8 p.m. next week at the Marion Rec. You can go over there if you want to. I'm sure the coach won't mind. You drop in to check out what's going on with the Swamp Fox basketball. Irvin Kinney said he can't sing. Do you remember Irvin Kinney, the singer? Well, his grandson's a baller, right? Okay. But I'm talking to Irvin's son right now, and I asked him, can the boy sing? He said, no, he can't sing. Wow. Well, you can't have everything, right, Irvin? Looking at okay, time to take a break, folks. We'll be right back. Just rambling here. Can't sing. I was wondering about that.
Oh, she said he had to order a piece of that microphone. Huh? They had to order a piece of that microphone. Right. Should be an extra.
Okay. So I got nothing.
Yeah, well, no, you're really just coming through this one.
Nothing is coming through there.
Now, just a little bit. But most of yours is coming from mine.
Okay.
Yeah, because I told her, I talked to him. I talked to the guys in here. She says on order.
Come worship him in song with Miranda Curtis.
Everybody can't sing.
Wendy Wyatt will
They can't sing.
He said he can't sing.
We have no fear. And Tom Delaney leads the celebration of his great name. Host
What's up, Lil Irvin?
Michael Blue.
Oh, this is Junior on the line right here. What's up, Junior? So you can't sing, huh, buddy? Wow. What's up, Big Ray?
Log on now to ccfmnation.org.
Need good transportation? Go buy a car at Donnie Gerald Auto. They sell clean, nice, pre-owned cars at reasonable prices. Financing available. Good credit, bad credit, no problem. If you're looking for a certain type of vehicle, Donnie Gerald will help you get it. Mention WJAY and get a $100 gift card, too, when you buy a car at Donnie Gerald Auto, 2420 East Highway 76, Marion, South Carolina, 843-423-5500, 843-423-5500, and Donnie with a Y, DonnieGerald.com.
Hi, I'm Wendell Huggins. Huggins Auto Service in Mullins, South Carolina wants to be your auto mechanic. 843-464-8966. We specialize in transmission rebuilding and replacement. We also do air conditioning service, engine replacement, and we also sell tires too. Huggins Auto Service, 3902 Race Court, Mullins, South Carolina. 843-464-8966. 843-464-8966. Huggins Auto Service.
Are you looking to lower your auto insurance rates? Do you need SR22 filing, motorcycle, or renter's insurance? Get the insurance coverage you're looking for with the best possible discounts. United One Insurance sells insurance you can afford. Visit us today.
Vacation was great, bro.
At 2510 East Highway.
In fact, I just came back from a little mountain trip a couple of days ago, but before that, cruise was awesome.
275-9975.
Big Greg.
Have you heard of City Food and Spirits?
City Food and Spirits, 1106 East Godbold Street, Marion, South Carolina. Stop by for City Food and Spirits breakfast buffet, Monday through Saturday, starting at 7 a.m. I guarantee the coffee will be hot, biscuits fluffy and golden brown, get scrambled
Biscuits
eggs, grits,
fluffy.
and meat too. You know that's good eating. City Food and Spirits, 1106 East Godbold Street, Marion, South Carolina. Stop by. Food's ready.
98.3 FM, 1280 AM WJAY. Listen on the internet too at WJAYradio.com.
98.3 FM, 1280 AM WJAY.
This is PD Sports Wrap, highlights of Marion County high school sports. Please note, comments and feedback from callers and guests on PD Sports Wrap are not necessarily those of the owners of WJAY or any of WJAY's advertisers, but are the perspectives of callers and guests of PD Sports Wrap. Here's the host of the show, Michael Jenkins.
Listen, the schedule I was telling you about for Marion basketball, it starts they're at Myrtle Beach. Let me see. June 14th to the 15th, Myrtle Beach. June 18th, they're going to be at AC Flora in Columbia. June 20th at Carvers Bay. June 21st, 22nd at the High School League. June 26th, they'll be at Darlington. So that's pretty much a full schedule coming up for them. That people you can go out and check the games out yourself. And also, I learned that the girls basketball job will be taken over by Craston Davis. Craston Davis, formerly the head boys basketball coach at the soon-to-be defunct Creek Bridge High School. And Craston it's my understanding that he's going to be the coach. I don't have that official yet, but it's been all over the place. It's been hanging out there for weeks. It seems like it's going to be a done deal. So let's just go ahead and say that's going to happen. Craston Davis will be the new Lady Swamp Foxes head basketball coach for this coming season. Now, as far as the wrap-up for softball and baseball, all those things have been decided, obviously, and I'm going to go through them as quickly as I can. Class A softball, and, of course, softball is girls. You have the Dixie girls winning the state championship. How ironic, huh? Dixie. As they beat Lakeview to win the Class A state crown. Looking at 2A, that was won by 96. They beat Latta, and they beat them, 6-0 in the closeout game. So 96 is the 2019 Class 2A softball state champs. Class 3A, Battery Creek won that when they swept Union County. The final game was 2-1 score. So Battery Creek is the Class 3A softball state champion for the year 2019. Class 4A, how about the Hartsville Lady Red Foxes? Boy, some locals getting it done. Hartsville won the state championship in Class 4A, knocking off Palmetto in 2 games, 3-2 and 6-5. Congratulations to our friends over in Hartsville. Class 5A, Burns won the first game over Lexington 12-8. Lexington won the next game 5-1, and Lexington won game 3, 6-5 to claim the 2019 Class 5A state championship softball. Baseball, Class A. Wow, how about those MAC-B guys? MAC-B knocks off Green Sea Floyd. And it's interesting because Green Sea Floyd just won a state championship in football. And here they are in the hunt for the baseball title. I think I would have to say it's a very successful season over there in Green Sea. Congratulations to them, even though they came up short. Looking at the Class 2A, if I can separate these papers here. Class 2A baseball, that was won by Landrum as they swept Oceanside Collegiate 2-1 and 4-2. Class 3A baseball, Bishop England, and they've won a few of these. They knocked off Crescent and to claim the Class 3A baseball state championship. And everybody knows what they do in basketball, especially girls basketball. Oof, they are scary. Class 4A, that was played between Eastside and Midland Valley. And you know what? Eastside won. Eastside, the Class 4A state champion for 2019 in baseball. Class 5A, that was claimed by Dutch Fork of Columbia as they knocked off Blythewood of Columbia. I think Blythewood is in Columbia. But Blythewood won 2-1. They beat them 2-1 in the first game over Dutch Fork. Dutch Fork won the next game 6-1. And then Dutch Fork finished them off 2-1. So now that we got all that out of the way, I've been wanting to do that now for a week or so because didn't have the complete picture the last time we met. Moving on to the NBA, which the finals just started a couple of nights ago, and much to my chagrin, the Warriors came up short against those folks from the north up there, the Toronto Raptors. Toronto's pretty good. They might be better than I thought they were. I kind of expected a little lull by the Warriors, even though they've been playing great basketball. I mean, I think they'd won like 6 in a row. And they did this without the services of probably the best player in basketball, Kevin Durant, who everyone is trying to say is going to New York, and that might be. Because I did see Kevin Durant, a video of him at the Rucker tournament some years ago. And I really do believe he would fit into that New York crowd. They would love him. I don't necessarily want him to go to the Knicks because the Knicks are a mess. And they have been for years and years and years. But right now he's not playing, hasn't played for weeks now. And the Warriors are on the verge of possibly going down 2-0. That would not be good for them. They are trying for a third consecutive NBA championship. And, you know, they didn't look great the other night. They only lost by 9. And I don't see, as good as I think Toronto is, and they're very good, Marc Gasol is not going to shoot like that again. And he's a good shooter. But I think the Warriors are going to have to do something to disrupt that craziness. You can't have this guy standing out there shooting threes. I mean, come on now. And you know he can hit that shot. They're going to have to make that cat put the ball on the floor and do something else with it or pass it. And this Pascal Siakam guy, now who really believes this kid's going to drop another 30 on the Warriors? I don't think so. But he's a baller. I mean, I've been watching him kind of closely for the last several weeks during the playoff, and this guy's for real. He can play. But I have to feel that the Warriors being champions the way they are, having that championship medal, even though they're playing they don't have their whole squad. Boogie Cousins came back the other night, looked terrible. He's been out for a few weeks or so. Not in shape. Did not really help him the other night. Steph Curry had a decent game, but he's got to do better. Draymond Green had a triple-double, but he got to do better. He has 6 turnovers in the game. Now, it seems that everyone in the country wants the Warriors to lose. I'm not one of them. I want them to win. But they had a map of the United States the other day, and it was depicting who is rooting for which team. Well, the only people who they say are rooting for the Warriors is a little dot on the map out there in Oakland. Nobody wants them to win. And I get that. Nobody wants to see a team that wins all the time. I mean, I've been hating on the Patriots for years because they win all the time. So, people don't want dynasties. They don't want dynasties. But the Warriors have become a dynasty. And the hate for the Warriors is extreme, I believe. They hate Kevin Durant because they say, oh, he went to a 73-win team. You know, I was having a conversation with a guy yesterday. And, you know, that 73-win team thing is a little bit skewed. And I'm going to tell you why. I looked at the two rosters of those teams, the 73-win team and the team that Durant eventually played with. And it's not the same team. You got at least 6 players, key reserves, and 2 starters who were no longer on the Warriors team when Kevin Durant came there. So he says to me, well, you know, yeah, those guys could be easily replaced. But still, if you got 6 new people on the team, it's not the same team. They're acting like that whole team was in place that won 73 games, and then they brought Kevin Durant in. That's not what happened. Harrison Barnes was the starting forward on that team that lost the year before. Kevin Durant replaced him. Andre Bogut was on that team the year before. He was replaced by what's this guy's name? Zaza Pachulia. You had guys like Mo Spates who left. You had guys like Barbosa who left. You had a number of players, key contributors on that team that contributed to that 73-win season. But I'm going to tell you a little secret. It's mostly the LeBron fans who are really mad because Kevin Durant going to the Warriors did what? Put a stop on his roll to more championships. Anyway, I'll let that be my final word today. Thanks, everyone, for checking me out today. I will be back next week with more. Have a wonderful, safe week. Peace.
Dee Sportswrap is an
You put your money in my
sports in Marion County, South Carolina.
Luck Bone, my man. What's up, yo? Hey, Gertrude. Keisha Gibbons, Kevin Hammonds, Bobby Bethea, Miss Davis, how are you? Take care, folks.
Community bulletin board highlighting causes like a mobile food pantry, relief giveaway, scholarships, funds, charity walks, community forums, free gospel musicals.